Hi, this is Saintjerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. Today is March the 9th, 2025. I thought I had done this little podcast yesterday and I messed up somehow, lost my recording. So, anyway, here we are today. There's a man who I listen to whenever I get a chance on a full show, and his name is Jim Willie. He's a very popular guest. He doesn't have his own podcast, but he's a very popular guest on podcasts. He talks about all things politics, all things financial. I would call him definitely a financial expert. Now, how does he get all his great wisdom? First, he is a doctor and he is just wonderful in math, especially statistics. He did that for many years in the private sector, but for about the last 20 years, he has been the author and editor of the goldenjackass.com, or the Hat Trick Letter, I should say. That is a publication. It's on paper, but it's also you can subscribe and get it sent to your email box, and download it if you wish to have a printed copy of it. So the website is www.golden-jackass.com. So golden's Golden, then the hyphen sign, and jackass, one word, JACK ass.com, and highly recommended. He spends a lot of love and time. He's got great resources, people who he collaborates with. A lot of them are clients also. He does consulting, but he has people who are deep in military, they're deep in politics, they're deep in finance. And if I'm going to pick a number, I would pick his accuracy number at 80 to 85. And he's predicted a lot of things financially that people thought were kind of crazy, but actually are true. So now this is Crypto Experiences. It took a while for Jim Willie to come around. He is always big on gold and silver, but now he is big on cryptocurrencies and especially XRP. And we'll go into a deeper dive on that. So, anyway, I am responding to a podcast. He is a guest on the, let me make sure I get it right, on the Untold History. It's untoldhistory.tv. I watched it on Rumble on that channel, on Untold History. Whenever the Hat Trick Letter comes out, he goes on a lot of shows to promote it. He's been on Arcadia Economics a lot. Uh, I'm drawing a blank, but a lot of different places. He gets on Nino Rodriguez from time to time. So very popular, very good. Now this is YouTube friendly, so I'm just going to delve in not the politics, but specifically just the XRP today that Jim Willie talks about. Here's a little more fair picture of Jim Willie. I believe he lives in Costa Rica now, and he podcasts from his abode. Um, I would give a thumbs up to support this man, support his publication. But he also, if you want to just donate, he's definitely open to donations. You can consult him for different time periods, and it's fairly reasonable to get his insight on the things. So, without further adu, let's delve into what he says in the Hat Trick Letter. There'd be the February Hat Trick Letter, and he's been saying on the podcast. So you get it both places about XRP. I'll do a little apology for the fact that I love playing with Grok here. So here's a little thing that Grok made for him. I said, "Hey, make me a big XRP sign." So I'll put that behind my head in an urban setting uh, to talk about Jim Willie and what he says in the Hat Trick Letter about XRP. So I'll talk about Jim Willie's article Under the Shadow of Donald Trump, and whatever those tokens are. It looks like Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP. It's got an X anyway. So sitting there in the Oval Office, let's see, March 7th was, if you heard that phone call, that was Donald Trump trying to get a hold of me. And no, I had a phone call interrupted. I'm a podcaster sitting here on the couch on my laptop. So that's the fancy setup I have here. So anyway, on March 7th, they had the first National Reserve Crypto Summit. And DJT brought to the table, meeting the leaders of industry in cryptocurrency and some other fields too. Um, 5 cryptocurrencies are going to start off within the National Reserve. So remember last summer he was at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, and he said he is going to set Bitcoin in our National Reserve. Well, he didn't mention other ones, but we have he mentioned XRP, Solana, and ADA Cardano, and then he had to like repost on True Social. Go, oh yeah, and Bitcoin and Ethereum, of course those two, right? Then the Trump family has World Life Financial, and they have a stable coin. So I'm going to get into the article, but the way I understand it, and Jim Willie's interpretation is the dollar as we know it is going away. Instead, we're going to go to a series of stable coins based on the value of the US dollar. So um, it just so happens that Brad Garlinghouse and XRP folks from Ripple Labs gave the United States some free XRP. And then I hear we have about 200,000 Bitcoins from confiscations. Would have had more, but the previous administration sold off a bunch, which are now worth billions and billions more. So then we're like floating gold into Fort Knox. They went into Fort Knox, take a look at the gold. That's supposed to happen live. And I'm hearing rumors that tons and tons of flights of gold are coming from London over to the United States. So we're trying to shore up the old coffers, it looks like. So this is what Jim says. So Jim says this about XRP and while it is a vital part of our future. Uh, the XRP market had a pause. The SEC has filed an appeal on a losing case. He says the big players are trying to force the little guys out. A bear trap has been formed. So people that don't have a lot of funds, the little guy gets scared when the price goes down and they sell as it's dropping and they lose lots of money. The people who are a little better informed and control things, they wait till those weak hands go out. They scoop up all the lower prices, and then it shoots up into a bull market. So that's been going on for ages, and stocks and bonds and precious metals and now crypto. Um, he says that international institutional investors and big banks, in his opinion, have orchestrated this pause. They're trying to get more XRP for themselves. Some short positions are in place, which will end up forcing panicky covers soon, setting new highs. The smaller XRP holders are easily confused, and I would go along with that. There's such a small percentage of people who actually know what cryptocurrency is about. As much as it's in the news, it's very small. I know there's maybe now with the younger people, especially Generation Z, getting involved. I think the percentage of those having cryptos is increasing on 50% or greater. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but that those understand what's going on. A lot of people hold it onto exchanges thinking, well, that's all safe. And if you don't hold it in your own wallet offline or not connected in an exchange, you could lose all your crypto. That's happened over and over again. I admit I've had a few little things like what the heck, but I was able to pull out of them on that. So not that I got much in there. All right. So the XRP is going to be, they already have their stable coin. The Ripple Labs has their stable coin. It's called the RLUSD. Other stable coins are like USDT, DAI, DAI, USDC of Coinbase, and there's several others. USDT is when I first got into making some minor trades. I didn't know what I was doing. I was on Binance before they got ixed from the United States. And I go, oh, how do I trade this? Oh, US dollars. How do you get US dollars? Oh, look, US dollar, USDT. I didn't understand the T was for tether. And it was a private company that says they've got the assets back up every USDT token. I don't know about that, but what do I know? Not financial advice. So I think I'm going to have a little more confidence in the RLUSD. So that must be Ripple Labs United, like US dollar equivalency stable coin. I had some USDC, which was out of Coinbase, but then they had there's a big drop in that one time, and it went from it's supposed to be constantly right at a dollar, 99.5 or 100.2, but right around that dollar mark all the time. And it dropped down to the 80s, I think, scaring a lot of people off. And this is one guy that I got a warning before that happened from Caleb and Brown. Thank you guys. I now end up being okay, but that kind of kept me away from that coin anyway for now. Um, let's see what else he says here. Well, he's calling. This is Jim Willie now, and I kind of echo what he's saying. I think we're kind of headed this way. Like I said, his accuracy rate is pretty good, but this is not financial advice. The XRP price will shoot past the $5 mark. Certain big bank CEOs have already committed to this step. Um, After a 400% move since November. So you remember that crazy day? It went from like 24 cents to over $3. Now it's dropped down. It dropped down recently to about $2.16 ish. But then DJT came out saying it was part of the reserve, and it shot up 35% in one day. Thank you, Jay Snips, for that tip. And then Cardano shot up that day 65%. Wow, right? It's amazing what makes the market move with just a little bit of rumor, a little bit of anxiety. Jim Willie then goes on to talk about BTC a little bit. He thinks it'll go down soon, but then he thinks they'll have a quick recovery to follow. That's about. He didn't say too much about Bitcoin in general. Now, what do you use XRP for? You use it to move a transaction from one country to another country, from one big bank to another big bank, and it's safe and it's fast and it's accurate. Wow, it just costs pennies. Jim Willie did a financial comparison of Swift system to an XRP run system, and it's 650,000 times better than the Swift system. What the heck? Why would they stay with the Swift system? In the Swift system, it takes like, I want to send $100 to Jonathan down there, I don't know, in Uganda or something. And here's $100. Well, time it gets to Jonathan, it's going to be about $85. There's all these middlemen in between, and it's really slow. And where'd my money go? I've had a friend who wired some money overseas, and oh my god, he finally tracked it down, but it took like a week to do that. Where when we get XRP, you ready for the sound effect? Boom, it's there. So it's crazy how fast the good cryptos go. Hey, another one like that, my Litecoin buds. Oh, that's backwards. Wait a minute, let me get the correct L. Is that, dang it, that's backwards too. How does this work? It looks like I'm doing gang side. Sorry. So anyway, L for Litecoin. Looks like Litecoin is one of those that's fast. Bitcoin, you might be there waiting for a while. I'm going to get a cup of coffee, Starbucks, Bitcoin, and next day. You can use the Lightning Network and kind of get around the Bitcoin using Strike, which works pretty good. But as far as actually using Bitcoin, not on small purchases too fast anyway. So there's a plethora of banks that are going to be adopting and have already adopted. I hear the Middle East is already using transactions, even like with contractors in XRP. And Japanese banks have to be fully integrated with XRP by the end of this year. Oh, Bank of America, and here's a list. I'm going to give you some of the banks. There's over 400 banks that are going XRP right away. Bank of America, Bank of England, Bank Santander, Bank of Indonesia, Bank of Thailand. Skip down the list a little bit. Western Union, UAE Exchange, Asia, Lilian International, FX Payments, TransferGo, all sorts of banks. Star One Credit, Fukui Bank, Flash FX, skipping down, Shinkin Central Bank, Mushashino Bank, and on and on and on. Wow, there is a giant list. They're going to XRP. The U.S. Department of Treasury might have a plan to retain financial dominance. The plan is independent of the U.S. government milestone of $36 trillion in debt. So cut the ties to the Federal Reserve, dump the Federal Reserve dollars, bring out the new currency backed by the National Crypto Reserve and gold and probably silver. Jim Willie Jim Willie says traditional financial system is broken. The new global system will be identified by stablecoin giants led by Ripple's RLUSD. I'm back after a little pause. I had some folks come in. There is a picture of yours truly and Bixware on the left of the screen and Bitcoin Ben on the right. Two folks who I love dearly. They're great guys, but they say XRP is a banker coin. And they're right because we're just talking about all these banks, but it's going to be big right now. So traditional financial systems broken. This is Jim Willie's stuff. The new global system will be identified by stablecoin giants led by Ripple's RLUSD. Um, Trump and Besant at Treasury will have made a USA stamp on the new system with the RLUSD replacing the US dollar as global reserve and with XRP replacing the UST bill as a global payment. The biggest part of this is liquidity. The on-demand liquidity is a key part of the XRP win. Its superior speed and trivial cost assure the win. And we already talked what it does is Swift. Bam. Ripple will be the winner, which takes the majority of the global business. The technology will revolutionize finance, much like Amazon did in the past, folks, with retail. The rules are almost set, and the next generation will be XRP, XLM, Solana, and HBAR. Well, XLM and Solana, I mean, XLM and HBAR were not mentioned, but those are two that are going to be very important. I've heard that Bitcoin is gold and Litecoin is silver, and I've heard XRP is gold and that XLM is silver. So XRP, good storage for value and quickness, and XLM, I'm hearing more like smaller transactions, businesses and corporations, et cetera, et cetera. Then he goes on to quote the economic ninja. Ninja expects President Trump to announce that crypto coin trading profits to be tax free. We've already heard that they want to make cryptocurrencies made in the United States free. So that gives XRP a free ride there. That meaning when you sell or trade them, there's no taxes, no capital gains. The economic ninja is selling 10% of the XRP position when it's at $12. Take a little profit off the table. Man, I tell you what, that is a hard thing to do. I remember somebody who rode Theta all the way up to $16 going, it's going 30, it's going to 50. That's what Michelle White Dove said, the rest in peace. And it didn't happen yet. I do think it's going to be a big thing. And I'm going to look over here to Bix, right, Bix? Because Bix is a big Theta guy too. And I think Theta will do well in the future. But hasn't done as great right now. Then he has a prophetic vision that it'll be worth thousands of dollars in 10 to 20 years. So, yeah, a lot of biblical prophets present day, like Brandon Biggs, have had visions of XRP reaching big dollars, and he's not the only one of the biblical prophets. He's the prophet that called exactly what happened to Trump when they tried to do something to him during the campaign, and he hurt his ear. He had predicted that 3 months ahead of time. And again, it's not him predicting it. It's not a psychic. It's a God intervention with that. What else? Okay, so MasterCard has tokenized 30% of its transactions in 2024. They're looking for the same kind of system. So Federal Reserve is, in my opinion, is going to go south, and it's going to be busted pretty soon. The United States Treasury and the Federal Reserve are two different things. Federal Reserve is not federal, nor is it reserve. It is a private banking system, and mostly overseas people get the profits. United States Treasury is ours. The only thing really that's United States Treasury right now, except for some bills printed by John F. Kennedy in the past, is the coinage. The coinage is U.S. Treasury. But now I'm predicting, and I'll predict, it's not financial advice, that we're going to a new currency backed by different assets, such as BRICS is talking about doing the same thing. That's that Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and about 85 other countries. They were singing and holding hands and singing "Kumbaya," but lately some of the countries kind of said, "Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute." Wait a minute. So I think India was backing out a little bit. So they're not exactly together yet, but they're getting close. Yeah, some of our big banks in the United States, for Bank of America, for example, has 2.5 trillion in assets and 6.8 billion in cash. Wells Fargo has 1.7 trillion in assets. New York Mellon with an estimated 2 trillion in assets. So yeah, there's some big bucks that XRP is going to move around. That is for darn sure. Musk, Jim Willie says, is considering a requirement that all Tesla transactions run within the XRP framework on the XRP ledger, refer to his $1.4 billion potential investment in partnership with Ripple. That alone could lift the Ripple price to, or the XRP price, excuse me, that's the coin, not the labs, to 20, maybe $50 per coin. Wow. And that's something to add is Ripple donated a lot. Ripple Labs donated a lot of XRP to politicians on the campaign trail. Now, if you're a politician and you just got handed a bunch of XRP, might you want to see the value go up? Just saying. So, sum it up. To sum this all up, is it looks like Jim Willie has hit the nail on the head to me, and the ISO 222 compliant coins are going to be a big deal, especially XRP, XLM, Cardano. And I've been hearing things from like the future forecasting group that HBAR is going to be right up there with them. So that's kind of my top four pick. I don't know that much about Cardano, but it's always mentioned in the same breath. I have been up a little bit on especially XRP and XLM, and they've done real well for investors here lately. They ran up quite a bit. I think Bitcoin still got its place. I think it's gold, little slow, little dodgy, but still holds the value, right? Litecoin is the greatest coin for transactions. It is super fast, and that chain has been running since 2011. I don't think anybody else say that. Now, I don't know much about Solana, but I thought it busted a couple of times, and they got a hard stop. They got it going again. I don't know. So anyway, none of this is financial advice, but I thought I'd bring it to your attention. There's a lot of XRP fans out there. One thing I find curious is you got your Bitcoin maximalists and everything else is a you know what coin, right? And then you got your XRP people. They just look down on everybody else. It's like, I don't know. I remember the old adage of don't put all your eggs in one basket. My God, especially when they're $12 a dozen or whatever they are nowadays. But don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your stuff out a little bit. Honestly, right now, not financial advice, but I think the only things to go into at this point are precious metals and the cryptos. I think real estate's going to take a big dip, and that's just not financial advice. Me thinking so. Of course, having real estate now is a good thing. Have your home, have a farm. That's a good thing. You can fall back on that. But to invest and hope it goes up may not be the best time. So anyway, I thank you for watching, and I'm glad to get this one out. I don't, maybe my first one I made was better, but I accidentally boo-booed it. So I have this one day. Please hit a like and subscribe. Got all sorts of good links down there. Caleb and Brown, you get that 3.5% permanent fee if you go through my link, which that's pretty darn good. And you get your own broker if you're in the $2,000 range. But you can do it yourself for 500. But they're good about answering questions like that. Strike lets you do the first $500, I think, in transaction fee with the correct code. And anyway, and I'm having my 1,000 subscriber contest. We'll get the 1,000 subscribers, and I am going to give out $50 in United States equivalent of some kind of crypto. We'll talk about which one, maybe Litecoin, maybe XRP. And then a second place of $10 and a third place of $5. Well, thanks for watching. Please hit a like and subscribe and share this out with everybody. And I'll be back with another podcast soon. Thank you very much. I will see you.